The movie opens with a seductive married woman who draws a naive young man into her dangerous game, driven by love and money. But everything takes a turn when her husband uncovers the truth. Right from the start, we meet Diana, a confident and attractive woman who teaches English at a local college, but her real passion, biology. The film begins with her lounging on her boat, soaking up the sun. Later, she heads to campus to give a lecture. During class, her gaze lands on Jay, a good-looking student who instantly grabs her attention. After class, she calls him over and asks, "Would you do something for me?" Curious and intrigued, Jay agrees without even asking what it is. In the next scene, he's on her boat, painting, part of the job she gave him. Diana appears in a swimsuit impossible to ignore. She walks over, offers him a drink, and invites him inside in a soft, alluring voice. Then she asks, "Do you love me, Jay?" Trying to keep it professional, Jay replies,
God, I really gotta go.
but it's clear he's drawn to her. He finally admits she's been on his mind. Even during English class, their chemistry intensifies and the boat starts rocking, not from the water, but from their passion. Later, Diana drives Jay to his part-time job at a gas station. On the way, she asks for another favor. Still under her spell, Jay agrees, ready to do whatever she wants. Then we're introduced to Michael, Diana's husband, who's also a professor at the same college. But he's more than that. Michael comes from serious money. His mother and grandmother control a multi-million-dollar empire in real estate and business, but they don't trust him with any of it. That's when a scheme starts to form. Michael and Diana bring Jay into their plan. He's supposed to intimidate Michael's mother, Lillian, and grandmother Lee into moving into a retirement home. Once they're out of the way, Michael stands to inherit everything. We meet Lillian, Michael's tough, no-nonsense grandmother. Meanwhile, Jay sneaks into their estate and heads for the basement, but the plan quickly falls apart when the family dog spots him and starts barking like crazy. Lillian hears the noise, grabs her shotgun, and storms downstairs. Jay panics and bolts as she fires at him. He barely makes it out, rattled but alive. As he runs, a masked figure enters the house and shoots Lillian without warning. The dog hides in fear. Jay rushes back to Diana and Michael, telling them Lillian came at him like a sniper. Michael's skeptical and tries calling his mother, but gets no answer. The three of them head to the house and find a horrifying scene waiting for them. All eyes turn to Jay. He wants to call the cops to prove he's innocent, but Michael quickly shuts him down, insisting there's no need to involve the police. The next day, Michael is back on campus teaching, but Jay's mind is far from calm. Jay storms out of the lecture hall and heads straight for Diana, confronting her. "We only needed to prove Lee was incompetent. Why were they sacrificed?" he demands. Diana stays calm, her confidence unshaken. She assures him it wasn't his fault and tries once again to distract him with her charm, stirring his emotions. But outside the door, Michael overhears the entire conversation. His face hardens as he silently walks away. Just after he leaves, Cynthia shows up at the door. Hearing Jay's voice inside, she waits. When he finally comes out, she drops a bombshell. She has photos of him and Diana together on the boat. She threatens to expose them unless he does what she wants. But Jay stands his ground. "I'm not afraid of you. Do whatever you want." He walks off, leaving Cynthia furious and ready to run straight to Michael. On her way, Cynthia runs into George, the gardener. The mood between them is tense and awkward. Uncomfortable, she says nothing and leaves. Curious, George later asks Michael about Lillian and Lee. Michael lies effortlessly, saying they're just away on a trip. Meanwhile, Jay returns to Diana's boat looking for answers. There, he stumbles upon incriminating evidence, shoes, a gun, and more, all pointing to him. Before he can process what it all means, Diana appears. Jay confronts her. He's had enough and threatens to expose everything. But Diana, as always, keeps her cool. She warns him, Michael is smart and powerful. Don't cross him. Hesitant and shaken, Jay agrees, for now, to stay quiet. Tension builds between Diana and Michael. He accuses her of betrayal. I saw you flirting with that kid. You even fooled around with him on the boat. His jealousy boils over. Diana snaps back, reminding him that Jay has the evidence. If you push him, we all go down. Fed up, Michael decides to handle it himself. He confronts Jay. How do you plan to prove anything? You're the one who broke into the estate. Your fingerprints could still be there. Michael's threat rattles Jay, worried he returns to the estate, hoping to wipe away any trace that could tie him to the crime. But once he's there, things take a much darker turn. While Jay is searching the estate, a mysterious man sets a deadly trap. Jay narrowly escapes with his life and rushes back to Diana. This time, she doesn't hold back. She warns him to stay far away from the estate and drops a bombshell. George, the gardener, is actually Lillian's cousin. Meanwhile, Cynthia returns to the estate looking for Michael and Diana, but instead of finding Michael, she runs into the masked man, now dressed in a Santa Claus costume. His gift to her is death. Shortly after, Michael and Diana arrive at the estate, and the tension between them explodes. Michael accuses Diana of masterminding the whole thing. Deeply hurt, Diana storms off in tears and goes straight to Jay's apartment. She tells him she's planning to divorce Michael and excitedly says, "We can finally be together. I'll get a big settlement and we can start over." The emotion between them builds and they grow closer, but then the doorbell rings. It's Michael. Nervously, Jay tells him that Diana's there. Michael leaves without a word, but as he walks away, he spots Diana's car parked nearby. Suspicious, he returns only to find the apartment empty. Jay and Diana have already slipped away. They head to Diana's boat, planning to spend the night together, but what they don't know is that Michael has followed them and is watching from the shadows. Suddenly, the masked man appears behind him and kills him with a brutal blow. Michael's scream cuts through the night, interrupting Jay and Diana's moment. Jay rushes out, determined to catch the attacker. He chases the masked figure all the way back to Lillian's estate. There, Jay uncovers the horrifying truth. The masked man is Martin, Lillian's illegitimate son, and George, the gardener, is the true heir to the estate. But Martin, blinded by rage, turns on George and kills him too. Jay and Diana, who have followed Martin to the estate, start piecing everything together. Martin was supposed to inherit the estate legally, but instead he chose violence and chaos. Determined to stop him, they search the house for more clues, but end up trapped by Martin. Under pressure, Martin gets cocky, and that's his mistake. In the final showdown, Jay fights back and kills him. Afterward, Diana visits Jay and thanks him. "Thank you, Jay. Now all the money is mine," and it turns out you're incredibly loyal. She invites him to Hawaii to start fresh together. Jay, finally free from all the drama, says yes without hesitation. When his boss tries to threaten him, Jay just grins and replies, "Keep your job. I'm done here." He hops in his car, leaves everything behind, and drives off into the sunset with a smile. And that's the end of the story. If you like the film, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update.